Today I'm talking about what you really need to be able to overcome your fears when it comes to achieving certain goals or dreams, okay? So if you want to be able to get that monetary goal, if you want to be able to achieve a certain thing, whether it be university, whether it be in a relationship, your career, your finances, your health, whatever it is, you have to have something far bigger than the fear itself. You see, fear, as we know, can paralyze us. The fear creates doubt, it creates worries and anxieties, and it's going to debilitate us in achieving our goals and our dreams. Because that fear, now here's the thing, right? The fear is trying to protect you, is trying to keep you safe because it doesn't know that you can achieve that goal, or that fear is trying to protect you in some way. So that is why we don't believe we're good enough. We create fear because if we go for it, we might fail. We might fear about what people think. What if we even achieve it? Are we going to self-sabotage? Is it going to achieve what we really want out of life? So the fear is something which I would say is the biggest thing that we will have to deal with when it comes to achieving our goals and our dreams, or achieving some form of emotional freedom from an issue. You see, the weird thing is, ultimately, it's illusionary to a certain degree. It's something which you cannot put in a box. It's something very subjective fear. It's something which is built through experience, or is built through significant emotional events, and that fear begins to generalize out to your life. You see, as we go through life, our mind is looking for past experiences to base on what might happen in the future. So if you've had something where it didn't work out for you, or for example, you went for a job interview, it totally failed, or you went to run a marathon and you couldn't do it, and for whatever reason, whatever the goal is, that fear can actually paralyze us. Now, Eyes here just said, is a little fear good though? A little fear, maybe, but I'm talking about the fear which is stopping you. So anything which is stopping you, that fear is totally not good. So that fear, if it's stopping us, which is like the subject today, if the fear is stopping us to achieve your goals, then you have to begin to work on that. That's right, Sebastian is saying that he heard some lightning, and I think he's actually agreeing with us that if you want to overcome or you want to achieve something, then absolutely we have to overcome the fear. You see, imagine a set of scales, weighing scales. If you have more fear on one side, you're totally going to be overwhelmed by that fear, and your brain, your body is going to go by that. So how can we actually begin to balance it out, or to the point where we can overwhelm the fear in total alignment with our dream, when total alignment in whatever the goal it is? If that fear is there, the self-sabotage kicks in, the self-doubt, the low self-esteem, the negative self-talk, all those things, all the symptoms you may be experiencing right now, that gets in the way. So we have to begin to put our attention elsewhere. We need to be able to change that weighing scales ultimately, so we begin to get more momentum. You have to begin to move away from that. So what is the one thing which will cause you to build far more success rather than more fear? Well, there's a few things which I want to explain to you, but the biggest one is you have to have a bigger amount of faith. You have to have a bigger amount of the why it's important. And I'd say, you could change the word depending how it suits you. So it could be faith, it could be belief, it could be the why, the motivation. You fill in the blank for that, because everyone experiences that differently. But we have to replace it, or at least put more energy as to why we want the goal more than the fear. When we begin to have the why is important, so for example, you think about losing weight and you have that idea in your mind, I want to lose weight, but you got all this fear around it, what will it mean? You have to put your attention as to why you want to do this. What will it cause you to get in your well-being, your mind, your spirituality, each area of your life, your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, your future. Even go way off into the future, having achieved your goal, and act and imagine what it'd be like to having achieved that goal. When you begin to go down that route, you begin to tap into the reason as to why you want the goal, you will start to put more energy there. You only have 100% of that energy. Now, right now, it could be more on the fear. So what do we have to do? We have to put more attention onto the why we need to get this goal. The why is a thing which motivates us. It's a thing which we'd call values. You see, values are the things which drive us in life. If you have a high value in family, you're going to be probably more orientated to a family life. Nothing wrong with that at all. And same thing with money. If you're very money orientated in a healthy way, you're going to be more attracted to money because the value that you have is high. But the problem is, when it comes to issues, we tend to miss out on that. We might have higher values for integrity, for honesty, for certain relationships, whatever, all that, the more general things, but we have to begin to do that specifically to your goal. So you have to get down on a piece of paper, maybe write down your fears, your doubts, what's the thing which is stopping you. But on the other side of that same piece of paper, you've got to consider what this will give you. Tap into that. How will losing weight, for example, make your relationship better? How will losing weight cause you to feel better about yourself? If it's about anxiety, if you want to overcome anxiety, what's of value to you in terms of being free of anxiety? So imagine if you were to consider having achieved that total confidence, looking through the eyes of a totally confident you, how would your life be different in 1 week having made that complete change? How would you go and approach things when it comes to your work? How would it change things when it comes to socializing? How will it change things when it comes to your health? How will it change things when it comes to how you even have confidence around money? If you imagine that and then go even a few weeks into the future, 6 weeks into the future, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years into the future, having achieved that goal, list out exactly what you would have achieved having achieved your outcome. So yeah, you got to achieve your outcome, but also the other things. How will it have a big impact on every area of your life? That is where we begin to tap into more faith. We begin to tap into more belief. We begin to more tap into the why we do what we do. When you begin to tap into that, you'll begin to tip the balance. You'll begin to tip the balance into terms of, yes, I don't even care about this fear. And I'll tell you why. I remember when I was personally wanting to get into public speaking. I was not a very good public speaker at all. I just did not have any idea about that. It's something that I wanted to do, but I had so much worry and doubt over it. I thought, I want to do it on the one hand, but on the other hand, I've got all this fear here. The why for me was, well, I want to be able to reach more people. I want to get on technology like this didn't exist back then, but if it did, I would be like, I want to be able to be speaking in front of all these people or 1,000 people on stage, which I have done in the past, or my podcast, or teach people, all those things. I wanted that. But in the beginning, I didn't realize that's what I wanted. I just wanted to be able to speak publicly. But there was more fear on the one side. So I had to tap into my mission and my vision as to why I wanted to achieve this goal. And then I began to build it out. I began to build out the type of things I would experience having achieved the goal. So achieving the goal, once again, is great. But what will that achievement, that goal, get you? How would it cause you to experience more in life? What new opportunities might you begin to experience having achieved your goal? Consider it. How is it going to have an effect in each area of your life? How is it going to transform every aspect of you when it comes to your mission and vision itself? You've got to tap into that. That is when we begin to build that belief and that faith. That means when we're facing fear, we're not just facing it with a little bit of, well, I want this goal, because then the fear overtakes us. But if we begin to supercharge the reason why we want this goal, why we want to achieve that certain thing, tap into the emotional feelings that you'll get and the feelings you won't even get anymore, so you won't be experiencing that anxiety, that worries and that doubt, even the fear. Tap into the things that you will experience having made that change. If you begin to hallucinate that in your mind and you begin to experience that and allow that to be in the forefront of your mind, that fear, okay, it may not completely diminish, and that's okay, but you're definitely going to have power over it. You're going to begin to experience more power and control over your mind. You see, people think that life happens to them. People think that life is just something that we go through and it affects us. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can be in charge of how you act and react. We were never given a manual for our brain. But I hope that this could be the advice that I give you on most days, or if you're listening to my work and my videos, hopefully it's giving you more access to the manual of your mind. Because I've been there, I've done it, the people I work with, it just works every time, and I just want you to have that too. So if we begin to educate ourselves and really catch in to the why you really want it. I'm going to keep saying that why word, because if you do not have a why, you're not going to get a how. You're not going to get a how to achieve it. When you create the why in your life, you're going to overcome the fear. You're going to overcome the worry and the doubt. Now, I did notice that someone said maybe we should just create bigger dreams on the comments. Now, I don't know if this is what they mean by this, but I'm going to give you just some, it just popped up in my mind as I was speaking and reading, where sometimes big goals can actually create more fear. Because now it's a bigger mountain to climb. Now there's more fear and more doubt. The bigger the goal, the bigger the fear. That can be that way. And that can actually cause us to self-sabotage. So I am definitely not telling you not to dream big, because I dream big all the time. If you knew what I have as goals and dreams for where I want to take myself, my business, my family, my relationships, my health, all those things, you'd probably think it is impossible. But I have those big dreams. But if I were just to go by those alone, there's too much of a distance. And that's where self-sabotage comes in. So I begin to dream big. But to avoid the overwhelm of fear, what I do is I break it down into smaller pieces, smaller goals, that if I achieve this week, if I achieve the next month, in 6 months, in 1 year's time, I will get it. That means I have the big vision and mission, but I've also got a plan. I've got a specific set of steps that I can do to achieve my goals, so I can begin to get to where I want to be. So I'm still tapping into that why, I'm still tapping into that dream, but I've also broken it down, which displaces any fear and doubt and self-sabotage. That actually builds more faith and more belief and more why into your life. So that is a great way of beginning to let go of self-sabotage. Dream big, but then, break it down so you do not self-sabotage and you do not develop more fear, scarcity, worry, and doubt. When you begin to do that, your mind will start to see the world differently. It will see its goals differently. If you begin to re-educate your system, you begin to re-educate your mind, you will begin to get it to work for you. Your system, your unconscious mind, the thing which runs your issue. Here's the thing, right? The thing which runs your issue is your unconscious mind. The thing which is going to help you achieve your goal far more than the conscious mind is your unconscious mind. Because if you could change right now, if you could tap into the resources of total confidence or total self-belief or total emotional freedom and peace and all those things, if you could do that consciously, you would have right now. Now, if you cannot do that, it must mean that your unconscious mind is running the issue. It is running the aspect of achieving that goal. So the conscious mind has its place still. Because if there's no conscious mind, if there's no conscious direction, your unconscious mind has nothing to go by, which is probably why we have an issue. Because we're so out of rapport with our system, we're completely out of sync, we have no idea how we're speaking to ourselves, which is actually creating more of a divide and more of an issue in our life by that negative self-talk, that worry and that beating ourselves up, all those things. It's actually creating a bigger divide. Your goal is to realize that you have your conscious mind, which is great. You are the director of your life. You should be directing and causing your unconscious mind to work on your behalf. But right now, it's on a tangent. It's doing things it's always done. It's trying to help you in many good ways. It's always a positive intention, but it's just running on a tangent, doing the things you may not like or not assisting you when it comes to your goal. So we have to harness it. We need to recapture it. When we begin to do that by building into the wire while having big goals but breaking them down into smaller aspects so we know that they're achievable, and then communicating with our unconscious mind through hypnosis or through personal coaching or through these audios and videos that I do, or anyone else's work for that matter, the more information we get, the better. We've always got to update our system. We will get our unconscious mind on side. Now, hopefully soon I'll be sharing a video in the future about one of the programs I'm running. And it's actually a free giveaway. And if you're, I think I'm giving it away tomorrow. Okay, so it's about anxiety and confidence. Laurie just said the confidence course is awesome, so thank you so much, Laurie. Laurie is a Mind Mastery member. I did not pay her to say that, but you do get the confidence course, which is really unavailable anywhere else. And I promise you, that is the best course around to getting confidence. I live by that program, and it just works. But getting back on track, I'm going to be showing you a video soon, in the next day, tomorrow morning. I'm going to send it out to my podcast, and actually I'm not going to do it tomorrow because I'm going to push this one out to my podcast first, but it'll be the next day. So today is Friday. I'm going to put it out Sunday. And ultimately, you begin to look at this video, and the video is about this guy who created a bike where if you turn left, it would go right. And if you turned right, it would go left. So it's completely opposite. Now, the people trying to ride that bike completely failed because they were consciously trying to do something despite knowing if they turned left it went right, and that means they completely fell over, because their unconscious mind thought of the old way of riding a bike. It thought if you turn right, you go right. But because the bike was changed, it took forever. I think on the video, it took the guy about 4 months to actually learn how to ride a bike again in this new fashion of turning right, it going left. You see, the conscious mind does a lot, but it doesn't run a lot. The unconscious mind is the runner. So we have to really educate our unconscious mind. So it's like learning to ride a bike. At first you were terrible. Like the person who created this bike, he was terrible at first because his mind was expecting consciously and unconsciously to go right, and then it went left. So it takes time to educate the mind if you do it consciously. So if you're doing it consciously, and that's why many conventional therapies, in my opinion, I'm not a licensed psychologist in any way or a doctor, but in my opinion, can be a struggle because you're trying to change something unconsciously through the conscious mind. Now, of course, the conscious mind has a big impact, but nothing compared to the unconscious mind. We have to educate both of them. You are educating yourself now, consciously, but we have to sink that deeply to the unconscious mind. So that is why I believe hypnosis is very profound, and that is why I really believe that Mind Mastery works, and that's why I can see all these wonderful comments about it, so I appreciate all Mind Mastery members saying that. But ultimately, you got to educate both of them. You need to get clear on your directions consciously. And then you need to get your unconscious mind to back that up. You need to educate yourself. You need to be able to retrain your mind to learn how to ride a bike again. It's just been running this old issue for so long, or this present issue for you right now maybe, it's been running for so long, it thinks that's just the way it is. Having worry and anxiety and doubts, that's just the way it is. Being overweight, that's just the way it is. Your system believes that. And if you have fear and doubt attached to that, it's going to be a real uphill battle trying to let it go just consciously. But we can begin to motivate the unconscious mind. You can begin to get your unconscious mind to know how to do this simply by building more why. Like I said, beginning to tap into not only the goal, but what it will give you on an emotional, on a physical, in every area of your life. I'm speaking to your unconscious mind. I tapped into a bit of my hypnosis suggestions there. That you, the unconscious mind, can begin to make this change if you begin to educate yourself with the whys. The unconscious mind will begin to live by that and experience that in such a profound way. I promise you, if you begin to do that, you begin to leverage your unconscious mind, you can achieve your dream and goal. And I do not say that just throwing it out there. It can happen. I promise you. I see it on a daily basis with my clients. I see it on a daily basis with my Mind Mastery on the private Facebook group and on the live calls. People are making big transformations, and they always have with my clients, my seminars, my trainings. It just works. And it's not me doing it. So I'm not trying to impress upon that it's me. It's a simplistic process that we can all use. We're getting the unconscious mind to work in your favor. You begin to leverage yourself. You begin to leverage your unconscious mind by stacking up the wires, by stacking up what it will get you. That will shift the balance between, remember I said about the scales of all the fear at the moment, we need to weigh that up with the wires. We begin to really get exactly what you need as a way of being in this world. Just imagine, and it really makes me feel great when I do this, just imagine what it would feel like to have total emotional freedom. Imagine that. Imagine how that would transform your health. Even if you haven't got any health issues, how will it still transform your health? How will it transform your relationships? Present relationships, new relationships. How's it going to strengthen the ones that you have, having that emotional freedom from your issue? How is your money situation going to change, knowing you're getting more belief in yourself and you'll have all the resources that you desire, the drive, the motivation, the courageousness, that word, I think, all those things. How will that transform your relationship to money? How will that transform the way that you want to be in this world? How's that going to transform your career? How's it going to transform, which I think is the biggest one, your place in this world? Are you going to feel like you now have mission and vision? Are you going to feel as if like you're going to get what you want out of life on your terms? That is what it's about. Living life on your terms. You can say goodbye to fear. You can say goodbye to doubt. You can say goodbye to anxiety. You can say goodbye to all the things which are stopping you in every way by beginning to apply this type of mindset. Obviously, I've got many more for you, and if you look through all my last my podcasts and everything else, all those things, you can begin to get that more. I mean, if you want to educate yourself even quicker, because people are actually talking about this right now. I really appreciate the kind comments right now about Mind Mastery. People are saying where it is actually at Mind Mastery. No, it's not. It's at josephclough.info/Mind Mastery. There we go, Sarah. Epically. went ahead and sent the link there. So I'm going to go ahead and like that on Facebook right there. And go ahead and everyone else like it just so people can get access to that if they want to. The thing is, you have to want to let go of your issue. I don't really care, by the way, for any of my people I interact with who say they don't believe that it will work for them. They usually say it will work for other people. I don't care for that, in the sense that that's okay. It's up to the process to work, because you don't have to believe in something to work. You don't have to know how it works for it to work. And I'll tell you exactly why. You drive a car probably most days, for those who drive cars, and you probably have no idea, unless you're a mechanic, how that car works. Like the mechanics of that car. But you still go ahead and do it, you trust it. You flick on a light switch every day, I'm sure, and you probably have no idea how electricity works. I know I don't know, but I use electricity in everything. I mean, like the computers, the lights, our phones, or batteries there, but ultimately, you are using things in your world every day despite not knowing how it works. So it's okay. If you do not believe it will work for you, or you don't know how it will work for you, that's okay. Go ahead and try what I say. Dig deep into those values. Dig deep into the why. Build more faith in what it will get you, and that fear will begin to get less of, because you've only got that 100% of attention. If you've got 90% attention on fear right now, or doubt, then of course you're never going to get your goal. But if you begin to balance it out, and you begin to work and begin to value yourself, and you begin to look for all the things that will get you, that 90% of fear has to move. It has to build upon the confidence and the belief and the whys that you're creating. So it's okay if you don't believe what I say will work for you. You might go, well, Joseph works for other people. It's okay. Usually it's part of the issue, by the way. Having anxiety and fear causes you to think it may not work for you. So be okay with that. Realize that's just part of the issue. It happens. That's totally cool. I mean, it's not nice, but it's cool because that's just a part of a symptom. If I hurt my arm, part of a symptom is that I'm going to feel pain there. It's not cool, but at least it protects me so I don't hurt my arm again if I don't start using it all the time because it's injured. I have to rest it. So that signal from your mind saying that it might not work for you, or the fear's too strong, the doubt's too strong, it's okay. It's part of the issue. It doesn't have to stop us. It definitely does not have to define us. And here's the other cool thing, guys. Anxiety and fear, worry and doubt is simply, and I'm going to oversimplify this for you, is simply, and any issue that you have, by the way, is simply a behavior. That's right, it is only a behavior. It might not feel like it, because it might feel like that is who you are, and that's why we say things like, I am depressed, I am not worthy, I am addictive personality, I am fill in the blank. But that is not who you are. Your fear is not who you are. Your anxiety is absolutely not who you are. It is a behavior that we have taken on because of maybe a certain set of events in our past, which were not very nice, but it caused a habit. It caused your brain to work in that way. Not cool, but the reality and the good news is that your issue, your anxiety, your fear, your doubt is simply a strategy. It is simply a behavior. Now that should make you feel better. It really should, because now I'm going, when I used to have anxiety myself, I used to believe I was just an anxious person. I used to believe that's just who I am. I'm just a shy person. They're just who I am. I can't change that. Same thing when it comes to being introverted. Would you believe I'm an introverted person? I definitely was when I was younger. It has changed now because I love speaking in front of 1,000 people or on here live and all my podcasts and everything. But I was an introverted person. I used to believe I was introverted. But it was simply a behavior. My blushing, a behavior. My anxiety, a behavior. My worries, a behavior. My fears or phobias, a behavior. That is all it is. We weren't born with that. It might feel like we've had it forever, but we probably have not had it forever. We didn't have it when we were 1 day old, or we did not have it when we were in the womb, or even before this lifetime, depending on what your belief systems are. But whatever it is, it came into existence for certain reasons. And it doesn't matter what those reasons were. It does not matter how it came about. It's about what you do right here and right now. It is what you begin to wake up to the fact that actually the good news is that I can shout about this behavior or this issue is simply a behavior I've been running, and my unconscious mind's been running it on my behalf. Now it's my chance, now it's my time to begin to re-educate myself, to begin to invest in my mind. You know what? I speak to some people on email. I do reply to emails despite the amount we get. I know Sarah takes the most amazing amount of replies on my behalf, so I can focus on doing these and audios and videos and everything. But some people will say they can't afford anything from a training of mine down to like mind mastery, or they can't afford even a $2.99 purchase on my app. And they say, can they have it for free and so on. Now, when I begin to question these people in a nice way, I say, I ask them certain questions, and I was like, do you ever go to Starbucks? And they go, oh yeah, I usually go to Starbucks about once a week or 2 times a week. I'm like, look, seriously, if you're going to Starbucks and you're spending, I don't know, I don't drink tea or coffee. Not drinking tea is very non-English me, but I just never have. But if you're going to get teas and coffees at a place like Starbucks, you probably have enough money to purchase a $2.99 or $1.99 in English pounds for a hypnosis. But they're stuck in this mindset that they feel they should be putting more value on caffeine or more value on drugs or alcohol, which is still a drug, by the way. It's just a legalized drug. It alters our state. But they have more value on doing those things rather than educating themselves. That to me is a big warning sign. That to me is like you haven't built enough why as to why you really want to change. And that might be your wake-up call right now. Think about it right now. How much money are you spending on things which may not be supporting you, which could go elsewhere? I'm not saying to me, I'm just saying going elsewhere, whether it be hiring a personal trainer, whether it be going on a retreat somewhere to educate yourself, or whether it be a program or seeing a therapist or a hypnotherapist or whatever it is. How much are we really investing in that? I invest every day in myself. I'm always purchasing something to educate myself, whether it be online programs, or whether it be mentoring. I've got a mentor myself, who I pay every single month, all those kind of things. And I see value in that. I prefer to spend more money in him rather spending more money on going to a restaurant, because I know the education is going to help me live the life that I desire. So we have to weigh up there as well. Are we really wanting this goal? And like I always say, it's okay if you don't. If you see more value going to Starbucks than investing in yourself, and even in time, looking for the whys, great. You might not like what I have to say about those things, but great. That is your desire. That is your free will. But you're never going to make the change that you desire. You're never going to achieve the life that you want if you start to put more value on the things which are not supporting you, which are not adding value in your life. You're just not going to get there. That is a simple truth. It's called investment. You're investing for a return of something, whether it be through time or money. Like I said, it doesn't matter. If you're investing and finding the ways to overcome your fears, like the whole theme of this talk, or you're investing in yourself to do gratitude diaries, or you're investing yourself in online programs, or mind mastery, or trainings, or seminars, or hypnosis audios, you name it, or books, other authors' books, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But you have to be investing that time or even that money in yourself. Where are we valuing our priorities? That is really what it's about. And that will turn some people off. It was not going to attract everyone because some people are just happy living the same old story. But I think you all know when it gets that time and you go, look, I'm now ready to step up. I'm going to dig so hard into those wires. I'm going to build them out. I'm going to look for what it will get me having achieved this goal. When you begin to do that, you're going to start to thrive. You're going to start to really learn. And even Laurie just said, I am so worth it. And everyone should be having that. Whatever you think you are always more than that. You are more than your behavior. You are more than what you think you are. You're awesome, you're special, you're capable. You can achieve what you want when your mind is in the right place. That's really what I got to say about that subject, really building into the wires and getting our priorities straight.
Hi guys, it's Josh from Canberra, Australia. I joined Mind Mastery after experiencing Joseph's earlier work for 2 years. All the free hypnosis stuff was a huge benefit in my life. However, I still found myself always in a position of fear of failure, fear of commitment, all these little things holding me back day to day. And now I find myself for no more than the cost of a gym membership that I never used, unable to deal with all these, to the point where I'm now studying again. My family are benefiting from my new attitude to life. Basically, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this, and I highly recommend it. The support from the Mind Mastery team, as well as constant interaction from Joseph, ensures your success in every area of your life that you need it. Thank you to Joseph. Thank you to Paul, his dad. Thank you to the Mind Mastery team. Love you all. And couldn't be achieving what I'm achieving now without you.
This episode was brought to you by Mind Mastery, where you get to personally get access to me so I can answer your questions and coach you and do hypnosis with you to get the success that you desire. Not only that, but you get over 186 hypnosis sessions in day and night version, where half of these are unavailable anywhere online or on the app or the podcast. And you also get all my audio courses, the Complete Confidence, the Happiness Unleashed, the Anxiety Freedom, and the Be Your Potential video course, and so much more. If you want to support the show, if you want to be able to transform your life, go ahead and visit josephclough.info/mindmastery.